Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Latori and today I am going to be doing a review of 3 different fragrances that I picked up from Dossier. If you're interested in seeing what I got, then stay tuned. Welcome back to my channel. Like I mentioned, my name is Latori and today I'm going to be talking about 3 fragrances that I picked up from Dossier. If you are not familiar with the company, they create inspired by scents that are inspired by really popular designer and niche fragrances. So I picked up 3 of them to try it out and I'm going to let you know what I think. So the first one that I'm going to be, before I get into the fragrances, a little more about the company. They have a little more info about them at the top of the packaging, and they are made in France. Each item is vegan and cruelty free. They are a risk-free order, which I'll get into that in a second, and they are made up of clean ingredients. So in each package, they have a card that have the notes of the fragrance, and it tells you what designer or niche fragrance it is inspired by. So inside of the box, they have the actual perfume, and then they have the small little sample size. So what they tell you to do is try the sample size first, and if you don't like it, you have 30 days to return the full size bottle, and you'll get a full refund, or you can exchange it for something else. So I think that's really cool because, of course, because they aren't based in a store, every purchase that you make is a blind buy unless you are familiar with the fragrance that it's inspired by. But because it's inspired and not an exact replica, you're still kind of taking a chance. So if you don't like whatever scent you picked, you can always send it back, which I think is great. So this first one that I'm going to be starting with is inspired by the super popular Maison Francis Kirk John Baccarat Rouge 540, the EDP. And it has an 18% concentration, and the notes in this one, the title of this fragrance is called Ambery Saffron. So I noticed with each of the scents, they are named based on what they smell like rather than what the original perfume name is. So this one is called Ambery Saffron, and the top notes are saffron and orange blossom. The middle notes are jasmine, plum, and cedarwood. And the base notes are oak moss, fir balsam, and amber. So I'm going to set that there. And when you open the box, you can already smell this one. The packaging is really beautiful. Each bottle is a clear glass, and it just has a plain white label with the notes, the name, and then the brand name. And it's really minimal. I really like it. And what I love is that each top is magnetic. So it adds a little weight to it, and it just feels a little more luxurious. I typically don't go for inspired by scents or replica scents just because I have really sensitive skin and they usually break me out, and I just prefer whatever the original scent is. But because this is made of clean ingredients, I figured it was safe to try even with having sensitive skin. And I'm really glad that I tried it out. So this one, like I mentioned, it is supposed to be a replica of MFK 540. I'm just going to spray this on the card. And I've tried one of these more so than the other 2. I've sprayed all 3 on different occasions just to try it out to see how I would like them. And this one smells very similar to Baccarat Rouge 540, but I feel like it's not as strong or doesn't permeate as much as Baccarat Rouge 540. It's still a very, very beautiful scent. I'm definitely going to keep this because I don't have the actual Baccarat Rouge 540. I had purchased a small sample of it just to see what the hype was all about, and I thought it was beautiful. I just haven't taken the plunge to actually purchase the bottle because it is very expensive. But yeah, I really like this one. I would suggest it. It smells a lot like, almost exactly like Ariana Grande's Cloud. I know everyone says that Cloud is a dupe for Baccarat Rouge 540, and I think they're similar, but this smells exactly like Cloud more so than exactly like Baccarat Rouge. So that is Ambery Saffron. I would give this, as far as scent, a 10 out of 10. As far as sillage, I would say a 7 out of 10. And longevity, like a 6 out of 10. Most of these scents, I noticed none of them really last a very long time on the skin. They do last very long, like on your clothes. So if you spray it on your clothes and if you go back to wear the same sweater or the same jacket, you're going to still smell it. But as far as on the skin, you only get a couple of hours of wear before you have to reapply if you still want to continue to smell the scent. So the next fragrance that I want to talk about is called Floriental Cederwood, and this is inspired by Mugler's Alien. And the notes in this, the top notes are mandarin, cardamom, and orange blossom. The middle notes are jasmine, sambac, and cedarwood. And the base notes are heliotrope flower, amber, and vanilla. This one I love. Surprisingly, I never purchased Alien. I've smelled it, just at the counter at different department stores, but I never purchased it for some reason. I've seen it a few times in TJ Maxx and things like that, and it's not super expensive, but for some reason I just never picked it up. And so I was reading the notes of this on the Dossier website because when I purchased it, they were having some sort of sale where if you get 3 fragrances, it was some sort of discount. I don't remember exactly what the discount was, but I think in total I paid about $80 or so for all 3 perfumes. And based on the notes that they had listed, I thought that I would like it. But because they had it listed as a Floriental, I wasn't entirely sold just because I don't typically like florals. But this I love. I would say of the 3 that I picked up, the sillage is the best on this one. And it just smells really good. It does smell, I would say this one is the best match or the most exact match of the 3 that I have. And it just smells very good. Like I said, it's the same magnetic top. And this one, the juice in it has like a yellow tint, which I noticed the other ones, they're just clear, but this one does have like a yellow tint. And it smells really good. This one also is the most long lasting of the 3 that I have. So I would definitely recommend picking up this one. It's called the Floriental Cedarwood and it is inspired by Mugler's Alien. So the last and final fragrance that I want to talk about is called Oriental Cherry. And if you love fragrance as much as I do, I'm sure you can already guess what this is inspired by. And it's Tom Ford's Lost Cherry. So the notes in this one are cherry, almond, and cinnamon. The middle notes are cloves, rose, jasmine, and plum. And the base notes are Peru balsam, tonka bean, and vanilla. So this is what actually made me purchase the order to begin with. This is what I went to the website for. And I just so happened to see the other 2 and pick them up so that I could get the sale. But this is the one that I wanted because I have been wanting Lost Cherry for a while. Typically when it's been like a few months and I've been wanting something and I keep thinking about it and I keep thinking about it, I just normally go ahead and pick it up. But I'm in the process, or I've started the process of looking for a home, and I just can't bring myself to spend $350 on a perfume while I'm trying to save to move. So I bought this to hold me over in the meantime. And honestly, it made me just want Lost Cherry even more because while it smells really good and it does smell similar, it's not exactly the same to me. So it just made me want the real thing that much more. This, it does smell really good. This is the one that I've been wearing the most of the 3 fragrances. And it smells very, very similar to Lost Cherry, but it's not as strong as Lost Cherry. On me, Lost Cherry it's not like an all day type of scent for me, but it lasts a while. And this, I would say after about an hour or 2, I don't smell it unless like I like lift my sweater or shirt or whatever I'm wearing that day, if I lift it up to my nose to actually smell it. Like, it does not last very long. The sillage on this one is probably, I don't want to say the worst, but it's the least permeating of the three. And it's a shame because it smells very, very good. I would still suggest picking it up if you are a fan of Lost Cherry and you just don't want to spend, you know, the money on it. It definitely is very similar, but for me, it just made me want it even more because I just love that smell so much. I know a lot of people, when they have Lost Cherry, they mix it with other scents. I haven't tried mixing any of these or layering this with any other fragrances, but I am going to try. But because it does smell really good, I like wearing it by itself. I just wish that it lasted a little longer. So if you have any tips or tricks for making your perfume last longer, let me know, because I would definitely use that for this one. Like I said, the Floriental Cedarwood, I believe, the one that's inspired by Alien, that one lasts pretty well. I would say for this one, the scent is definitely a 10 out of 10. It just doesn't last as long as I would like it to. So yeah, that is Oriental Cherry. So that is my Dossier review. Overall, I would definitely recommend giving them a try. I would say the one thing that I wasn't a fan of is the shipping time was very long. And I didn't realize when I placed the order that two of the two niche fragrances, or which one was it? The MFK Bacarat Rouge 540 and the Oriental Cherry, those two were pre-orders. So I didn't realize that when I initially placed the order, and like 2 or 3 weeks had gone by, and it just dawned on me one day, like, I never received any sort of shipping information. So I went back, and when I checked, I noticed that it did say that it was pre-orders. So that was just me not really paying attention, but it did take about a month before I received my package. They don't ship things out individually. They wait until they have everything to complete your order before they ship, which I understand. It saves packaging and saves the tree eventually and all of that. So it was no biggie. Like I mentioned in my Black owned business haul, fragrance has become one of my favorite things during quarantine, just because when you change your perfume, you can change the entire vibe. So when you are stuck in the house, changing up a scent or lighting a candle can really just change the whole mood and how you feel. And I love that because it's something that's so minimal. You can just spray something and go, or light a candle and go. So I found myself lighting, one type of candle in my bedroom and lighting another type of candle in my living room. And when I go in between the two rooms, it almost feels like I'm in a completely different place because the smells are completely different. So that's something that I love. I've always loved perfume. So just now, even more so with being in the house, that's just something else that I can do to be more comfortable at home and be more content with just staying inside. So I would definitely recommend trying that if you are also someone that loves fragrance. I would definitely suggest trying out Dossier right now. If you happen to see this video before Black Friday, they are having a huge sale. These are something that would make a great gift. So definitely check it out. They have a lot of different options. Like the most popular fragrances or perfumes that you could think of, they are more than likely have an option for you to try. So I would recommend them. And if you do pick something up, let me know what you got and how you like it down in the comment section. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Bye.